the beginning of September 2024. Today, I have one of your favorite videos for you, and that is finished pages for the end of the month. And this is going to be for August 2024. I am Sister Minbao, Candice from Happy Catastrophe, in case I didn't say that yet. And I'm so excited that you are here. So today we're going to be looking at, oh my goodness, 5, 10, 15, 19 pages. My coloring has really picked up in the last few months. 8 of those are from untouched books and 4 are color by numbers. That number has been higher in the past, but I just did a lot of pages, just straight up pages this month. And I had 12 buddy colors. So, so much for my 5 buddy color limit. I have changed things up a bit. I now, almost all my pages are buddy colors. What I'm doing is just picking, anybody that wants to buddy with me can certainly ask if they've got a page. But when I get filled up, then or filled up with pages that I want to do as well, I put them out on my planned videos. And if you're interested in hopping onto one of those as a buddy, you're more than welcome to. Now, all of my September planned pages have buddies, except for something out of Enchanted Galaxies, which I don't have sitting next to me, but I want to do something out of there. And that one doesn't have a buddy yet, but it doesn't matter. We can do 3, 4, 5 buddies. I've got a couple pages that have 4 or 5 people coloring with me on them. So that's great. You know, then we just get more inspiration from each other and have more people to look at our progress. And it's a lot of fun. I absolutely love it. This is all done through Instagram. If you do not have Instagram, I can still buddy with you. We'll probably have to communicate via email. But I don't want to, miss out on coloring with you. So just get hold of me somehow. I have my email address is below in the description. Okay, so I hope you're doing well. I know a lot of you are not right now, and I want you to know that my thoughts are with you right now for that. And reach out to me if you just need to talk to somebody. Best way when I say that is through Instagram. I'm a little slow on my emails. Of course, what I have right here to set the stage is, yes, I had a little bit too much sweets today, but I still couldn't help it. When I got home, I had to put frozen strawberries in my water with my mason jar and this time I think I'm using it. It's a copper straw. Oh, day, that's good. And it's a little bit cool today, so I have the windows closed, so you can't hear any crickets tonight, although there isn't any yet. It's very dry out there right now, so we just don't have any crickets right yet. But they have been really loud in the evenings. The weather's been threatening a little bit of rain, which I say threatening, but I really bring it. We still have forest fires that need to be put out, and I would love some moisture. Yes, I would. All right, let's get started. I'm going to pull out our first few books. All right, this was the first book that I worked out of at the very beginning of August, and this was a buddy with my very good friend Dana at Dabbler D. And here is her page. Now, we just chose this page at random. Mouse Guard, this coloring book is a compilation of a lot of his pages from actually the whole book is compilation of his artistry from his graphic novels, but mostly from the one entitled Black Axe. And if you ever want to read any of his graphic novels and you have the Kindle Unlimited program, I think it's a small fee every month, they're all there for free. So you can read all of the Mouse Guards for free, and you can find these pages in this book in his books there, and then copy the colorings. This is a scene where Selanawe, who has been off fighting battles for his princess, and his princess is also their secret lovers. He comes back through a secret passageway. He finally comes home after a year or so fighting battles, and he's so excited to see his princess, and he runs into this conservatory area where they usually meet, have clandestine meetings, and he finds out there's nobody there, and he runs up to this open book and finds out it's a historic book that she is dead. And so her information was written down, and the new princess or queen was written in. So it's a really sad scene. And so Dana and I colored this, and this is her gorgeous page. These pages are not that hard to color as they look, because there's a lot of black. So if you just use water-based markers, it's usually good. So I love what she did. Her stained glass turned out looking like real stained glass. My stained glass, well, I tried. I had every hope that I would make them into major sources of light for the page, but I ended up not. So here is my page. So I used Mogian watercolor markers. Now those markers are these here. I have them close by me because I want to use them in a current page, my Sailor Moon lunchbox. These are them. I find I like them much better than the Ohuhu that everybody was using. I tried to use those. I finally just gave them away. I don't like them at all. But these don't streak as much, and they're much easier to use. And for me, because the nibs are a brush nib and then a small nib, a bullet, a tiny bullet, which I rarely ever use, the brush nib is what I appreciate the most. I love these. And this is a Tombow. Whoops, that's a loose Tombow that's in there. Sorry, the Mogian have a brush nib only. I was going to say, I don't think, do they have a fine nib? I never use the fine nib end. Yep. Oh, they have a really, really fine end. Yeah, that'd probably be good for George Tufex's stuff. But I think their colors are better. These Mogian ones, they're pretty cheap, and they don't streak like the Ohuhus do. And I just found the Ohuhus to be really ugly colors. I like the colors of this better. And I like them better than the Crayola Super Tips because I can't understand the nibs on this Crayola Super Tips. They're kind of, you know, like, I don't know, they're like a rounded triangle. I find them really hard to use. So, but it's probably because I'm just used to using a brush because I do so much alcohol marker work. So these brushes are great. So I use them for pretty much all my water-based marker stuff. And this was no exception. So here's Solanawe, I think is how you pronounce it. There's the stained glass. All of this is just water-based markers. I don't think there's even any pencil in here. Pretty sure not. But see, it's so black. I mean, all these pages, there's so much black in them. Well, not that one. But there's so much black in them that even that there's not, you know, a whole lot to color. And it looks great with just, you know, water-based markers thrown on top of it. It looks great. So if you can find this book, it is out of print. You can usually find it on eBay. Right now there's one on there for like $140, which is stupid. There have been several on there for under $40. So if you can find it for about $40, that's great. But yes, so this was a really fun buddy with Dana, and I really appreciate it. I love working out of this book. I only have a few pages done in it. I did this one the month before. This one was a little bit more work. There was a little bit more to color, so it took a bit, mostly just choosing the colors. And then a year ago or so, I did this one. But yeah, I'm always up for a buddy out of this. And Dana and I are going to buddy out of the... Oh, that one's cool, Dana. Look at that one. We're going to do more out of this. Holidays are coming up, so we probably won't do anything during the holidays, but we are going to work more out of this book because it is a fun book to work out of. So that's Mouse Guard, and that's by David Peterson. So yes, read his graphic novels and color his book if you can. Okay, this is Matchstick Mouse, A Big Adventure, the second most newest one that's out there. And this was a gift. I love this book. This was a gift from Beth, my subscriber Beth. And I've done a few in here now. And this one was a buddy with my friend Lil at Pole's Coloring. And we did the waterfall jumping. Yes, we did. We did the waterfall jumping. Now, this one was fun, and I posted it on Instagram because we decided for this one, I had a bit major spill of an alcohol marker right there. So we're going to zoom in here. We both decided to use a color palette, and we were trying to figure out how to pick one. So what we decided to do is we would each go on Pinterest and pick 2 palettes that we thought we liked. We put them together, so there was 4, and then she did a random number generator, and we came up with, actually, I think I have a picture of the palette, and it would be right here. So that was a lot of fun. And this is what I came up with. Now, I chose to make this all water and just use the 2 blues in here. There were no flower colors, so I used that tan color for the flowers and then just put some golden marker around it, some super golden markers to make it bling. So basically, there's the tans, there's the tan, and then the greens and the blues. So yeah, that's all we had to work with. And I really had fun. I like being constrained by the boundaries of a palette. I think they're fun for pages like this. Let me show you Dana's. I think Dana did a fantastic job. She interpreted those rocks on the side to be rocks and not water. It was so funny because I guess it could have been either. I saw it completely as water and she saw it as rocks. And looking at hers, it makes more sense. I think she's right. I love the choices she made for her flowers and backpack. She did them different than I did. She did the backpack green, which makes a lot more sense than my tan backpack with the gold on it. But we just had a really good time. So of course they're going to be somewhat similar because we had a very limited palette, basically green, blue, and tan. But it was fun. The challenge was fun. So I did add a little bling to mine. Those are all with super golden markers. I freaking love those super golden markers. They're right here. These were a gift from JMac Creative, and I love these. They have, you know, all these colors. I know they're called golden markers, and they all have a gold in them, but they're different colors. And so that's the blue I used and the gold I used. So they are a lot of fun, and they can add, I think they add a lot to a page. Yeah, so that was fun. So thank you, Dana. I love that. I have another buddy in this book this month, so you'll see it again in September's finished pages. All right, now we have Enchanted Earth. Now, it's been a minute since I've worked out of this book. This book is a lot, isn't it? It's super, super detailed, but I love her work. So this was a buddy with my friend Shelley at Weaver's Shelley, and we decided to do the mermaid. So let me show you Shelley's while I find mine. Isn't that gorgeous? She decided to do something very different. She decided to go for that pink mermaid. And I thought it was just stunning. And then all I could think of was, I want to do a pink mermaid too. And I told her, I said, I love your out of the box thinking for mermaids, because I love to color mermaids. I love to color ocean scenes. So my blues get a workout. My blues and greens. So she really inspired me. So here's what I did. I also did pink, but I didn't want to just copy hers, which yes, I did want to just copy hers because it's fantastic. But I decided I would push myself even more and go with a muted palette. So that's very rare for me. So there's a lot of shine in here. In some places I put like just an overcoat of shine on a pen. This is all done in alcohol markers. I don't know if there's any pencil in it at all, actually. Let's look at the other side. No, there's no pen. I mean, it's all my alcohol markers. I think there might be some pencil down in here, maybe, because I was struggling with that snail. But you see there's just a lot of... I think that's probably Kuretake Gansai Tambi, the starry colors. So often what I do is, here's my heavily used Kuretake Gansai Tambi starry colors. Woof. Even the bottom trays, I gotta put these in something else. Look, it's falling apart. I use this so much. Well, I don't know if I can pull it out anymore because the tray has disintegrated. But this color is one of my favorite darker golds, and I think it's right here. Yeah, I think that's right there. That's that gold. That's a favorite. But this is one I don't use very often. But this is, oh my God, what a mess. But this one is probably what's on top of this. It's very, very light, but it adds sparkle and shine to whatever you put it on. And I think I see that elsewhere too. So that is awesome. Then I also find a palette to put those in. Also, what I see here is some, this is probably a pen. And then I know that this pink that's in here, that's some Hemi metallic gouache. I love that pink and I use it in a lot of things. So she's got some of that pink here too. I just use that with a paintbrush. So she has a lot of shimmer and shine. There's shimmer all over this. Tilting it so the shimmer doesn't get in your way, you can see that I used a much more muted palette. And I really like it. I like it when I restrain myself to try to use a muted palette. I have to get clever because most of my colors are bright and I have to actually search for muted ones. But I really like this page. And I'm so grateful for the inspiration from Shelley, from her pink mermaid, because it made me want to do something pink too. So this was a very fun buddy, and I just love this book. This is my 3rd or 4th page out of here, and I need to get into it more, but boy, she can be very detailed, can't she? All right, let's look at another one. So after those pretty intense pages, I decided that I needed a little break. And I pulled out this wonderful Quirkles book. And this is a color by number book. And this was a gift from Carrie K, my friend Carrie K, Carrie. And you know that I did The Frog last month. Now, this is a book I've had before, so I know how it works. But it still doesn't mean I don't screw up, because I did on this one. Basically, it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, sometimes only 4. And you pick your color, you pick the colors you want to use, but then you're looking at tones. They need to be light to dark or dark to light. I can't remember if 1's dark and 5's light. I think that's what it is. So then you place whatever colors you want. 1 is your darkest color, and then they go lighter, 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 lighter. So you can choose anything you want. You can choose patterns. You can choose it to be a rainbow. You just have to have dark to light, because that's the whole point of Quirkles, is the light shading. So this is what I did this month, and I got much better at remembering what is dark and what is light. The frog I screwed up. The frog I got my 4s and 3s mixed up, but this time I kept it straight. And in this one, I did not white out the rest of the circles. That's actually part of the artwork. So what these pages are is they look like this. They're just, wow, that one's really detailed. They're just intersecting circles. So you're basically coloring the little intersections with dark to light colors, and it can be monochromatic or whatever. And they come out looking really cool. A colorist friend of mine bought this after seeing it on one of my videos, and she did this as well this month, and hers is great. Is that Fef? Fef, did you do it? And you'll see it. It's yellow. It's bright yellows, and I think it's beautiful. I really do. I chose purples for this one, and I use just acrylic paint pens, from whatever manufacturer. I'm just looking for the right colors. So the reason the values are what's important here is that it's just basically the shadows that are telling you what this animal is. So I'm really excited. I had this book before, like I said, and it really provided me some stress relief at a time that was very stressful in my life. But then I lost the book in a forest fire that went through the cabin, and I lost it all. So I never had so I lost this book, and I was really missing it. And Carrie K bought it for me and sent it to me, and I just love it. So this is the next one I'm going to do, and I'll do it this month. I find these so relaxing. I do them in between big pages. And often you can't tell. I mean, the answers are in the back, but I don't look at them. But you can't tell what it is for a long while. And it goes through a very, very ugly stage. Like, it's ugly clear until the very end. So it's kind of fun. So I have no idea what this is or which direction it goes. But yeah, this will be fun to do. I think they're a blast. So that is Quirkles. And this is Thomas Pavitt. He does a lot of Dot to Dots and other kinds of adult entertainment books like this. Not the adult entertainment books that you're thinking of. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right, I am going to pause you for a second and set up the next 4 books. So many coloring pages. I am so in love with R.J. Hampson and so grateful for those of you that have sent me his books. I think I have 4 of them now. Lost and Found. I have the 2 Fogarty ones and Midnight Mischief. And I just think they're superb. This one was from J Mac Creative, my friend Julia. And this page was a buddy with Veronica Dunn. I had a 2-way buddy on this one. So here is Veronica's page. She has the hardback, and in the hardback version, you only have the daylight versions. You don't have the duplicate with a difference. So there's no duplicate. So she just had that one. So she did the daylight version. And then and I love her daylight version. It's so cheery and fun. And then my friend Paula at Coloring Mum, she did the night version. So here is her night version. So what I did was I buddied with Veronica daylight to daylight to compare and see how we did things differently. But then I buddied with Paula a daylight to night version. And it's funny because look at me at Paula's. I mean, I couldn't resist. Let's look at mine now. I mean, I love both of theirs, but look, that's this month's. Look what I did. I kind of did what Paula did in the dark version. Basically, I made my light version dark. I gave it a dark sky. I did not mean to give it that dark of a sky. I made it snowy and barren, and I made the castle out of crystals. So I have a hard time sometimes not making things dark and spooky. But I made her heading into the road. I made the road kind of mossy and green, and this being all green. And then as it goes in, it becomes kind of a white, barren, snowy land with a crystal castle in the background. And I made my dragons all brown. Now, this was all alcohol markers. The crystal-y stuff was... I have it right here, don't I? I do. I have a new... It is a glaze. Let me grab it. It's not this one, but it is a Nouveau glaze. This is a clear one. The glaze that I put on is really thick and has really chunky glitter in it. And I put it on with a palette knife type thing. And I got it everywhere. But it really does shine. Did I write down what the name of it is? No, I did not. But everything else is alcohol markers, except this is a gold metallic acrylic pen. And I love it. I love the way the snow glistens with those crystals, which you can kind of see. I love it how the castle glistens. They're just clear, chunky crystals that are put over the top of this. And I had a good time, and it was fun how mine kind of came right in the middle of between Veronica's cheery daylight one and Paula's kind of spooky night one. This was a fun buddy to do. This is a great book. This is just such a fun book. Every time I work on one of those books, I think that's my favorite one. I can't decide, honestly, but Lost and Found is a great one. So, yeah. So thank you, ladies, for doing this buddy with me. It was so much fun. That's a really sweet book. Okay, then the next thing I did was another buddy. And this one... hold on one second. I didn't write down the buddies correctly. Hold on. So this next page, I had the wrong buddy written down in my notes. That's bound to happen with all of the buddies that I'm doing right now. But this was 3 of us. It was Lil at Pulse Coloring, and this is what she did. Now, what we did was the mythographic. This is from Mythographic Fairy Wonderland, and it's the mole scene. It's the mole. This is from Fabiana Attanasio, and where the mole is going underground. Now, we all know it's a mole, it's a ground, but we didn't know what those rock things were. So we all went different directions. So Pole decided to make it gold, and Lil decided to make it gold. And wow, that made so much sense when she did the rocks gold. I was like, oh yeah, I bet they're gold. And it really made a nice, balanced page, and it just was fantastic. And if I remember right, was this her first mythographic page? I think it might have been. Just lovely, like a pro, absolutely gorgeous. And then my other buddy for this page was Yolanda at Coloring Biker Mama, and she decided to make them crystals type gems. And this is what she did. And hers is great as well. And you're already seeing the difference, especially in the moles. The moles and the stones are very, very different. And I love her interpretation of it. And I love where she was going with it. I know she was thinking about making them rocks, and she just gave everything just a little bit more oomph to it. And just beautiful, just stunning. I think I was one of the last ones to finish. And so here's what I did. I had just received the Mungio, and I'm looking for them right now. They're hiding from me. The Mungio Oil Pastels, the Pearlescence. And I had just received those as a gift while I was coloring this page. So I colored everything but the rocks. I didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to copy the great ideas from Lil and Yolanda, but I had, this dirt, and I had the wood, and I didn't quite have the colors of the back wall and the floor right. I even did the mole, and I still didn't know what to do with all the potion bottles and the rocks. I did the candles, I did everything. And then those Mungios arrived as a gift. Oh, goodness. That opened up all kinds of doors for me. And so what I did was I played with them on a scrap piece of paper, and I realized they blend beautifully. So I just took different colors and blend them in. I used a blending stump because I'm not crazy about getting my fingers dirty, but also because they're so little. So I would color like yellow and green and blue, and then I'd use a blending stump and blend them in. So I blended them all in, and then I took a really fine gold like a gel pen, a shimmery metallic gold gel pen, and went over the lines of the crystals, if you can see that. So their lines are gold too. And then I liked them so much that I added it to the bottles as well. Now this other than that, this is all alcohol marker. There's no pencil in this. But those oil pastels, and his keys are a silver gel glitter pen. But everything else, there's some white Posca in there to make the reflections on the bottles. But everything else, it really came together with those oil pastels. It was kind of just a boring page, a lot of browns, until those came in the mail. And I was like, oh, look at them. They shine and shimmer. They say they're pearl, but really I would call it metallic. I mean, maybe kind of pearl, but they're kind of a pearl metallic. And they're just beautiful. If you get a chance to get those things, I will pull them out and show them to you once I find them around here. I'm doing so much coloring that I'm completely covered in supplies and stuff. And for some reason, they're usually really close because I've been using them a lot. But yeah, definitely consider them because, wow, look at that shine they give. And they're so beautiful blended together. They work really nice together. So that was the fairy. And then what's around the side is very, very thin metallic washi tape to make it all bling a little bit more. And this one, it was not coming together for me until I did the stones as gems with those oil pastels. So, wow. So thank you guys so much for doing this buddy with me. This was a lot of fun. And it was my first out of this book. This was an untouched book. So yay, yay, because this is a wonderful book. It's just that we had so many mythographics come out one after the other that there are quite a few, like this one and Shangri-La and Illusion, that sort of got lost in my collection. I didn't get a chance to color in them. So here we are. Fairy Wonderland has been colored in, and I am really looking forward to coloring more in this book. Okay, so then after I did that, I was like, I need another brainless page. So I finished a whip in my favorite coloring by number book, Villains, the Disney Villains. And you all have seen this one. This is the one, it's a color by number. It's single-sided, but it's where I've been trying all kinds of different things. This is the first page I did, and I tried acrylics. But I've been doing a lot with alcohol markers now, and it messes up the back side. So what I've been doing is putting a cardstock that sort of matches either the colors or the theme of the other side, and it's making for a really nice book to flip through. So this side's colored and by me, and this is just a piece of cardstock. And I have so much of these paper card packs, you know, those big packs, and I have so many of those from card making that I just find something that goes with this page. And now it just makes, so this page isn't messy anymore. I wasn't enjoying seeing this messy page right next to this colored page. And I know it's just a color by number, but it's made it so much more fun to look through. So, this is the one that I did. I don't know who this character is. You probably do. But I did them all according to his colors. He was just grays and blacks until I got to his face. Then I didn't know what to do with his face. So I kind of gave him like a Nacho Libre, you know, like a Mexican wrestler mask. I don't know who he is. But because I did that, I decided to make his background red as well with acrylic paint. And you might have heard it when I opened it. It stuck a little bit. And then this is the page I found for him. So I really enjoyed him very much. He was all done except for the background. And I was stuck because I had already... Well, I had put some Dragonfly Glaze. That was also I added because that's brand new. It's this pink to green shifting top coat. You can kind of see it on this. But I had finished him with all the different, and some of the grays I made silver. I thought he turned out pretty good. And then I gave him the wrestling mask head. But I didn't know what to do with the background because I'd already done shimmery and metallic and like I can't make it black really because he's black. So it kind of just stayed unfinished for a long time. And then I was looking through this and I was like, why not red? So it's just, I think it's even one coat. I mean, it looks very patchy and stuff, but it's fine. It's and it's acrylic paint. And then this. Now, I have more whips in here. Often when I have paint that I'm painting in something else and I have leftover paint, I'll look through here and like I had some leftover black acrylic and once it dries out, acrylic paint is no good. So I had this, this palette that I put some black in and I was using it on another page in another book and I had this black left over. So I go through here and I find black to paint it on so I try not to waste any paint. This is one that has got the side page, but he's not finished yet. But he's mostly just like leftover paint as well. And then I started using some alcohol markers, but like I had some leftover red from something else. So I did his jacket. Here's some black. So yeah, I just kind of work ahead in this book. This one's done. Oh, Gaston. And I thought this was good for him. So I really enjoy doing these and then putting the cardstock here. It just makes it kind of a neat book to flip through. I enjoy flipping through this. This is like old school notebook paper, but I did that because he's got all these pages of music. He's done. She's done. She's messy and splotchy on purpose. Yeah. This was some leftover blue and some leftover red. I just haven't finished him, but he does have a side page already put on. Yeah. See, just when I have extra paint, I work ahead. So I don't know if I have any. Oh yeah, this one was done recently. He is pretty magnificent. I went way off the palette with this one. This one I stuck with the palette. She's pretty awesome. And I think that's all the ones I've done in here. So this is a favorite of mine. If you have it, I'm always up for a buddy color in it, but it is a color by number, so they'll come out fairly the same. But a really fun book. So that's The Villains Color by Number. And one of the color by numbers I did. Okay, I got done with that. And I thought, and I was in Joann's, and they were having a sale like they do. And I saw this. Now, this is the Thomas Kincaid Paint with Water Through the Seasons. I'd seen Amanda Colors do a lot of paint by waters, and they looked interesting. And I remember doing them as a kid. So I did, I think I did a page in the back. Now, see, the way this works, here's the answer keys, but I'll tell you right now, they don't look anything like these. But these are the original paintings that these designs are based on. But the way this works is this back opens up so that when you do color, like if you were going to color this page, you can fold it to protect the page underneath it. So it's basically a blotter page. And the one I did was in the back. Yes, here it is. So these are not as easy as you'd think they are, because you have to be careful which way you're putting the water on. So for example, I didn't know that. I was just running water over it, and I realized that made some colors run together that aren't supposed to. So like these greens in this tree, it's the lines, it's the actual lines that are holding paint in them somehow. I think some sort of witchcraft. And what happens is that if I paint down, then that green's going to go into the pinks and oranges of this bridge. So you have to kind of paint up. So you just sort of have to kind of keep colors where they're supposed to be. However, there are a lot of different greens. And so you want to mix them, appropriately. Now here, the clouds have their line comes out blue, and I painted in towards the cloud. But what I'm doing now in pages that I've done this month is I'm painting outwards and leaving the clouds white and letting this blue become the sky, which makes a lot more sense than a blue cloud and a white sky. But I love all the colors in this. I love the play with light. You can move the paint around for 5 or 10 seconds, and then it dries too much and you can't move it anymore. So I can't go back in there and reactivate any of this. So there's also limited paint in each line so that you don't. So for example, this purple's supposed to do this. I didn't have enough paint to pull it all the way into the middle, and then the middle had blue. So it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty amazing how these books are created so that they do require some skill. Like here, I pulled in some of this tree down here on accident. That shouldn't be that color. It should be these green colors. So this was my first page, and I started figuring it out a little bit more as time went on. And I really appreciate how they've put different colors into water, into trees, how they've made everything just sort of like kind of blend together, but you still have to know what you're doing, because otherwise you'll get like, brown sky from this roof. So my next page that I've done in September was a lot better. And I really enjoy these. These are super, and I filmed the one that I just did. So I'll probably put it out as a video, just so you can, it's just kind of a peaceful thing. But this book is really neat. It's just lots of, of course, it's scenes, and it's throughout the season. So you'll have all kinds of weather. So yeah, if you want to try, and it also comes with a cute brush. I don't know what I did with the brush. It's not one I'm using, but it might have been this one. Nope. I don't know. It's just almost a kid style brush, but yeah, I would recommend a brush with water and not a water brush, because I think you'll tend to use too much water with a water brush. But just a super neat book. So if you're looking for something that's somewhat mindless and really fun to get into, and the time just passes and you don't even know it, I would recommend it. And I got this at Joann's. I'm pretty sure it's also on Amazon. It's not watercolor paper, but it's very thick. And see, it does buckle a little. The weird thing is it buckles quite a bit while you're working on it, and then it flattens out kind of on its own. It's strange magic paper too, because I didn't put any books on it, but it just, by the time it's dry, it's, from this side, it's pretty flat. And it doesn't even, I don't think it sounds that crinkly. It sounds like normal paper. You can see from this side, there's still some buckling, but you really don't see it from this side. Pretty cool. I love this book. All right, I'm going to pause you and get the next 4. Okay, The Lost Forest by Ghost Shrimp. This has rapidly become one of my very favorite books. I hummed and hawed over getting this book for the longest time, and I just wasn't sure I liked it, I hated it, or loved it. I didn't know. And then I had it on my wish list because I was thinking about it and I kept looking at it. And what do you know, but my dear, dear, dear friend Rachel, Jelly Starburst is where she's at on Instagram, got me this book. And Rachel, you have completely blown me away and opened up my world, because I can't stop coloring in this thing. It is so funny. Oh my gosh. And so good. And it's all aliens. So it's really working out for this September with the hashtag September 2024. So I actually have 2 more buddies in it this month of 2 separate pages. So I'll have 3 pages done. But this page I did as an experiment to see what worked. And basically everything works because it's really, really good paper. I mean, it's really thick. It's nice paper. It's single-sided, so I used a lot of alcohol markers, as you can see. But I also used some, this would be one of the silver marker and the super golden markers. And I used it in a lot of places. I think I've got Sakura Glaze on their eyes, on this guy's eyes too. I've got some more, that blue marker from the Sakura Golden markers. The green here is acrylic paint pens. Here's the green in the Super Golden, which is really neat. It really does have a green, a gold shift to it. Just went to town on this one, and it's all alcohol markers, acrylic pens, and those Super Golden markers for the shiny stuff. And I tried to do a kind of a minimal color palette. It's funny because I've had several people say, I've done that page in that book, and they chose the water to be green as well, which is interesting. This is an easy, fun book to color because anything goes. Now, I didn't try any pencils on it. It is very smooth. So I would imagine whatever pencil you've got that can work on really smooth paper. Usually I find for that budget pencils work better than the higher end pencils. But I don't know why I would use pencils when markers work so well. So this is definitely a marker book. It's perfect for people who like markers of any kind. I'm sure it could withstand paint, a little paint. Gouache for sure. Yeah, pastels, oil pastels, chalk pastels would all work. Really fun. So I'm in love with this book. I haven't done any others yet, but I have 2 buddies in this. This is one of the buddies I'm doing this month. I'm so excited. It's just a really, really fun book. A nice mix of medium detailed, high detailed, and no details. I mean, it's just like that. It's just a really cool book. I think you can find it anywhere. Ghost Shrimp is, that's not his real name, of course, but he's the one of the animators for Adventure Time. So that's why a lot of the characters look like they're from Adventure Time, because he drew those characters. So yes, fantastic book. Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm so grateful. Every time I open this book, I'm so grateful. It's just super cool. Yeah, he also did the Midnight Gospel on Netflix. If any of you have watched the Midnight Gospel, yeah, those characters look like Adventure Time, which look like these characters. So, yeah, he's got a very signature style. But every page has something funny in it going on, and you can just find it. It's just hilarious. So, yeah, great book and a really, really fun buddy. I mean, not buddy, but really, really fun page to do. Thank you, Rachel. I love you so much. Okay, and then I decided I wanted to do another color by number. These dang mystery colors. They suck me in. I get them and then I hate the paper so much, but I know so many of you do them. So I thought, okay, this is one. I have one. I think that I haven't destashed, but I don't like the theme of it. And so it's kind of boring for me to do it. And this one, look, unicorns, castles. Okay. So I went towards the back and I tried everything. It looks a lot better on camera than what it does. This paper doesn't like anything. I mean, it's just the acrylic paint pens basically just cause it to be so, it's so thin. I mean, and they didn't go on well. They're not smooth. They're very scratchy. I tried acrylic paint. I tried acrylic paint pens. I tried, this gold paint. That's the Kuretake Gansai Tambi. It just doesn't like anything. It's so buckled from not only the paint, but the acrylic. Just acrylic paint pens made it buckle. What do you guys use in these? Yes, she turned out cool. I think she did. I love the colors that they call for. I love the drawings. These are going to be really neat, but the paper's so bad. It's like, it feels like newspaper. It's not that Amazon printing that's like white and thin. This is like that weird texture and it's kind of grayish and it looks like newspaper and feels like newspaper. So I don't like the feel of it, but I thought it would stand up to acrylic paint pens, but it doesn't. So now I don't know I'm at the same dilemma I was with the other one of these I bought. And the one I bought in D-Stash. It's like, what do I use in them? I didn't have acrylic paint pens back then, so I thought, oh, great, that'll work. But even they're too wet. I guess alcohol markers would probably work, but then I would see the numbers, and that's what I don't like, is seeing the numbers. So I want it to be, opaque. I don't know. I do not know what to do with this book. But I did do the Evil Queen in the back. It was fun because I couldn't tell what she was. They're very much a mystery. It's kind of fun to do them and not, that's a dragon. But it's kind of fun to not really have any idea what they are. The paper. I'm wondering, I could photocopy this and put it on better paper, couldn't I? It's a typical 8x10, right? I might be able to photocopy it and put it on better paper because I want to do them. Anyway, so let me know what you guys do with your mystery colors. And I just got this at a supermarket. Okay. So then I jumped up to more difficult coloring again. I got my mojo back after doing that color by number, and I worked in this one. I had not worked in this one yet. So this was an untouched book. And we did this was a buddy with Veronica Dunn, 66, and Gemma at Color Me Gem. So we did this fox in the labyrinth. So let's look at Veronica's first. And she did this beautiful soft colors. She colors so fast too. I just heard another colorist talking about that. She gets her buddies done in like 2 days. And then she has to wait all month for me to finish mine. So just beautiful. And then we have Gemma, who did not know, she got stuck at some point. She had already colored the girl, and then she kind of got stuck of what to do the rocks and stuff. She wanted to do something different. So we were all throwing out colors, and then I got to thinking, well, she did her girl in a blue dress. What about the Yellow Brick Road? And she took that idea and wow, look what she did. She turned it into a whole Yellow Brick Road type scene, Wizard of Oz scene. And she did such a great job. It was so neat. So I loved their pages, and myself, I wanted to do something that was outside the box. I'm trying to push myself to not make, all the leaves green and all the trees brown. And, so what I did was started with I started with the rocks because I know I was going to do them like concrete. But then as I was, working on the rocks, I'm like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm not going to think twice. And I did the hedge in these peaches and oranges. And I was really not sure how that was going to work out. But I'm like, I want to do something different, something I've never done before. And yes, I have never made a hedge, peaches and oranges. So then I'm like, I got to make this make sense. So then I basically based all the rest of the colors off of that. So the flowers became same versions of this. The grass I felt needed to have blues in it to go with those peaches. So I didn't make anything really green. Everything's a blue-green. As you can see, that's all blue-green, kind of matches the water. It's all alcohol markers. However, there is pencil on the fox and pencil for shadows in the hedge. So I did do some pencils on this one. Everything else is mostly alcohol markers though. Mostly just, the stones and the vines and the flowers, those are all just alcohol markers. She's just alcohol marker. All of this is, the only thing I really used pencils on was the fox. It looks like he might be all pencil. And then the hedge for just to add some color here and there. I love it. This is like a cohesive palette. I rarely color this way. I usually just start with something and then go to the next thing, I never have a plan. But this one had a plan, and I really love it. I think this is an inspiration for me to continue trying to color things that they're not naturally colored. I see so many of you doing it, and you're such inspirations for me. And so I'm like, why can't a hedge in a magic, this is obviously not real. That fox is as big as the girl is. It's obviously, made up land. Is this Fabiana or Joseph? This is Joseph Kattenbang. And so that's what I did. Was there anything else I used in here? No. Nope. That was it. I loved it. I loved the buddy with all the ladies. I liked it. I like it when buddies want to share progress pictures because that helps me too, because I'm stuck here. I don't know what to do. And getting fresh eyes on a page can really help you. So that was really fun. And this was another untouched book. So Mythographic Labyrinth. Finally got a page done in there. Yay! Okay. Then after that, I was like, whew, I gotta cleanse my palette here. So I pulled out this one. Now, everyone knows I love the Eclipse Circulism books. They are so brainless and fun and meditative. And this is and I like them on this superior paper because it's shiny and the finished project looks so good, where the other one's really kind of dull and newspapery. This was a gift from my silent subscriber, Beth, and she gave me this one. And which one did I do this month? I love this ocean one so much. I did the seahorses, okay, because I've done a few in here now. Did I start from the back? I think I was starting from the back, but then I just got excited about various things and just started jumping around. Because if you use alcohol markers, you will mess up the page in front of you and behind you. So alcohol markers would mess this up, and it would be hard to read. But I don't use alcohol markers. I use acrylic. And that's my Sears family. And I just think the colors in this one are so awesome. His books do vary. They do. They have he doesn't use the same colors in every book. And like, as you've seen, Chalk, the one I have, Chalk, the colors are very strange. And that is turning out to be a book of comedy for me. This book is very bright colors, bright, colorful, unexpected colors. And I find them to be really fun. It makes this book a lot of fun because it is so bright and different. Look at these little babies. And I love the white that he put on them, this creamy white. I thought that really made it stand out. It was one of the last colors I did, and so I thought that looked really cool. It kind of added a lot to the page. So yeah, this is, all of his books are different. the Circulism books, but this is one I would highly recommend, Ocean, because of the color. I'd also recommend Symmetry and Shine, and there's quite a few of them that are fantastic. And what I do is when I find the color, I just put it here. So it's rough if I walk away and I put the colors away, so I don't do that. I leave the colors out if I'm going to walk away from it. But I tell you, these are so addictive that I'll often stay up till really late, like early in the morning, even all night, and finish one of these just because I get stuck. There is some of the colors I chose to make metallic pens. So there's some metallic golds in there too. But just a really neat book. This is Ocean. It's a Circulism art book by A.J. Quinnell. And thank you, Beth. I love this book. I color in it a lot. Okay, I think we just have a few more. Let me pause and get those out. All right, let's talk Joseph Cattenbang's greatest book to date, Wild Summer. Is this not a phenomenal mythographic? I tell you, like I say every video, if you don't have this one, you need this one. Because this one, you will be sad when this goes out of print. This one is probably the finest mythographic ever made. For me, it's tied with Cosmic Spirit as the best mythographics. It's just, Joseph just tapped into something here. I don't know. So this one, I've had a couple buddies in this one. For this month, it was this one. So let me show you Veronica. So Veronica done 66 and I buddied with this. We had another buddy, but they weren't able to finish yet. So Veronica did hers like that. And of course, finished hers first. I loved it. And I had done several water pages and I was like, God, everybody makes their water pages look so good. And I've done a lot of water and I'm kind of tired of water. So I got to looking at this page again, and here looking at it, I was like, oh, it's got stars. And that's actually an astronaut in the middle. So you could make it as like otters in water with an astronaut in the water, or you could make the astronauts in space with the otters in space. And I thought the otter was holding a sun and a moon, the two otters. So I decided to make them like space otters. And this was actually super easy. This is Rosa watercolors, which, do I have them close by? Yes. My favorite watercolors that I have, besides the Gombies, the Tensai Gombies. But this is my Rosa watercolor palette. This is what I have here, and it's just phenomenal watercolors. I mean, this is one of the smaller palettes they have, and it is so well curated. I mean, look at that olive green. I use it all the time. But it's got the best red that I have out of any palette of any medium. This red is just stinking gorgeous, and this is a little bit darker red. I just find that I have a really hard time finding true reds anywhere, and when I need a true red, if the page can take water, I use this one. So sorry about that. So this is a prized possession of mine, that little palette of Rosa watercolors. And so what I did was, I've never done a galaxy background that I really liked, or that wasn't trying too hard. And I was determined to make one and make it easy. So I used Rosa watercolors. So I did Rosa watercolors over the entire thing. And I made it more galaxy outside of the otters, and then just more monotone inside the otters. And it was so easy with watercolors. I've tried it with pencils, which, oh my God, that's a labor of love. I've tried it with Distress ink, which for some reason I can never quite get right. But I love Distress ink, so I'll keep trying. I've tried it with markers, and what else have I tried it with? I've tried it with almost everything to make a galaxy background. And now I know that you have to push the paper to accept the water and do it in Rosa watercolors. Now, I'm really careful with my water. It still is, buckly, but it's not wrinkled. So it looks good still. And I really enjoyed this. I had so much fun. I just took the purple and the blue. Those are the only colors I used. And then I just sort of mixed them in places and didn't in others, and just did it. So I did the whole page. And then when it was dry, I waited a day or two. When it was totally dry, I went over it and went over all the lines with white Posca. Now, I've been trying to, this whole like, this has been a technique that's been going around where you do like, to make the thing look like it's possibly invisible, or to give it sort, or especially with a galaxy background, to make it look it's part of the galaxy. And I haven't done it successfully yet, but I feel like this is the first time that I really do like the outcome. And so I put them in space. So that white Posca pen got a lot of use. And then I just used, that looks like well, I wrote it down, Candice. Look at the notes. It's just a gold acrylic pen. And then looks like a silver acrylic pen. So I gave him a golden moon, gold stars, a golden sun, gold stars, a silver moon. And it was so fast. 2 days and it was done. I'm like, I gotta figure this out and make my pages faster. Well, for one thing, paint makes everything a little faster, I find. I paint faster than I do anything. But this was just so easy. It was just cover the whole page. Now, I didn't, of course, I went around the astronaut. I didn't paint the astronaut. But the astronaut, I didn't write it down, but those are pencil. That's pencil. So it would be the polys. Yeah. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. I need to break out my watercolors more often. I really do. So that was a really fun buddy. Thank you, Veronica, for doing that with me. That was a whole lot of fun. And this page was not one that I had thought about doing right away, but I'm sure glad I did because it was great. So that is the second page I have out of here, because this was a buddy that I did the month before. Yeah, I don't think I have another page in here. Oh, that one. My Rave Sheep. Right. So 3. Wow, 3 out of Wild Summer. Such a neat book, and I don't see why it has to only be done in summer, so you'll be seeing this all year long. All right, we have a new book that's been circulating around, and that's Love Monsters, the super cute and easy coloring book. Now, Ashley at Perfectly Imperfect Coloring, she has started this hashtag at Love Monsters 24. So if you follow Ashley, which I hopefully do at Perfectly Imperfect, she is hosting a different page every month out of this book. Now, this book is really a lot of fun. It is a true artist. Gideon Publishing is kind of trying to be another Coco Wyo, where they use real artists. You can look them up and actually find the name of the artist on their website. It is Amazon printed. I don't think it tells the artist in here, in the book itself, typical, just like Coco Wyo, but you can look on their website and it shows you who this one is. These pages are fantastic. It's typical Amazon paper. It's thin, but it's the stuff that's not newspaper. So it's really actually fine to color with markers and stuff. It's almost or as thin as Angela Gonzalez's stuff, like the Sea of Colors. But I don't know if it's that thin. This is just like typical Amazon paper. And this was last month's page. These little monsters are doing all sorts of fun things in this book, just doing their thing. And here I like to think he's watching a movie or something. It's nighttime. It's almost like it's a dorm room. So that was my little monster. It's all alcohol markers. There is some acrylic paint pens covering the lines. There's a silver glitter pen there and there. It's basically just acrylic paint pens and alcohol markers. Easy coloring and lots of fun. This book is super cute. And Ashley sent this book to me. And I'm so glad to be a part of her color along. Now, this month's page is the bath page. So for September, we're doing, and I need to put a bookmark there, this one. You're washing his hair. That's cute. He's so cute. Oh my God. This whole book is just really cute. So if you, it's on Amazon. It's an easy buy. If you want to join Ashley with her full book color along, tons of fun. It's called Love Monsters. All right. Next, I got out this one. Whew. This amazing Karolina Kubikowska book, Rising, our newest. This was gifted to me by my dear friend Sarah Seamy Bonham. And Sarah has given me several precious gifts, and this is one of them. Karolina's books are just unbelievable. For one thing, they're so aesthetically pleasing with their hardbound and their beautiful covers, and they're just a collector's item in themselves. So Sarah did my first page out of this book. And let's look at Sarah's first. Is that not gorgeous? I call her the dancing cherry blossom girl, but Sarah did her blossoms a different color. And it's just absolutely beautiful. And the thing I like about it is this book kind of goes from really morose pictures to what I was interpreting as more jubilant pictures, like she's rising, she's coming out of herself. But we gave this same page very different vibes. So Sarah's is very still melancholy and kind of moody. Beautiful. I love the way she did the girl. I especially love her face and her makeup. I just think that's perfect. It's stunning. Now, we did not share progress photos, so we didn't share photos until we were done. So when I saw hers, I was really surprised because look at how I interpreted mine. It's right here. It's a little buckly because I used paint. I made mine all sunshine and like, we're happy now and we're out of our doldrums. And then you look at the two of them, they didn't even look like the same girl. That is so cool. I love the way buddy colors work. So this actually was a fast page because I was still on the watercolor craze. I reinvested. Hold on, let me grab them. I can't quite reach them from here. I have been able to monetize my channel. Now, monetizing means that I've turned on commercials. The commercials were always on my channel, but now I get a few pennies, a few cents from each one that you have to sit through the 5 seconds and hit skip on. But those annoying commercials are bringing in a little bit of money. And I can use that to buy things to show you, to use on the channel, and I'm so excited. So it took 3 months, but I got my first check, and I was able to get these. Now, this is the Kuretake Gansai Tombi watercolors. I'm a huge fan of Kuretake, and Tombi is not the same as watercolor per se. It is a watercolor, but it's very different, and it's kind of in between watercolor and gouache. It's very, very pigmented, but the Japanese true Tombi is made with honey, so it's a little sticky, and it's thick with these giant pans because the Japanese use very wide brushes, and so these pans accommodate those wide brushes. So you get a lot of color. And this was the small set they have. This is a supplemental set, and this is absolutely, I got it because I can't afford the big set yet. I really want the big set of all the regular colors, but this supplemental set with these muted colors is just gorgeous. And so I used it. I decided I was going to use just this for this page. So these colors are what's in here, and they were so delightful. I had to work to get them as this transparent. These are they can be very opaque. They can be as opaque as gouache, except they go on smooth like watercolor. They don't have that acrylic feel that gouache has after it's dry. So that's why I like them better, because I don't care for that acrylic feel in gouache. Although I use gouache all the time, I don't care for the way it feels when it's dry. I don't care for the way acrylic feels either. This stuff is really, and you can make it completely opaque, or you can really water it down and make it thin and make it transparent like this. So I absolutely, and I'm also kind of worried when I finally am able to get the rest of this set, that I'm never going to use anything else. I love this that much. It's hard for me not. Now, I don't want all my pages to be the same color, so I'm not using it for every page because I only have that very particular curated set. But once I get the regular colors, watch out. So I used that set for this, and that's all I did. I think there's a little bit of pencil shading on her skin. Maybe a little bit just to darken things. Yeah, a little bit to darken on the fox. I made the fox all one color. Sarah made the fox accurate. I don't know why I didn't leave the white. I know fox have white. I have foxes that live here, but for some reason I didn't want to leave any part of them white, so I just made them all brown. But because I used this set where all the colors go together, I didn't have to think about a palette really. And I just love it. Now the stars, the kind of things on our dress are a glitter gel pen, so they're kind of glittery, but nothing else is glittery, and it's all just done in a kind of a loose watercolory style. That's what I wanted it to look like. I wanted it to look like a watercolor painting. Absolutely had a blast doing this, and like I say, it was not hard at all using watercolor. Just fun. So Sarah, thank you so much for everything you've given me. Thank you for this beautiful book, and thank you for this buddy. I really enjoyed seeing yours and mine. They're so different, and I just think it's wonderful. So thank you for giving me possibly my favorite page of the month. Gosh, aren't those books amazing? So then, I'm back to Matchstick Mouse, a big adventure coloring book. Now, this one is, again, a buddy with Lil at Poles Coloring, and with her friend and relative, Kate, at Koos Life and Color. So let's look and see what Lil did. Lil did this, and we called this the cheese page, and I was like, what's the cheese page? Kate was saying, we're going to do the cheese page. And I'm like, what cheese page? Well, there's a little piece of cheese in this page. Can you see it? It's not a very, it's not the main topic. But I think that she's packing this cheese because it looks like they're going on a camping trip. And I'm not so sure, I think Wormy's going. They're just packing their bags. And then here's what Kate did. Now, I'm always amazed when people add a pattern to a fabric or something. I never think about that. And I was like, I need to do that more often. And she's like, can you draw dots? And I'm like, yeah, I can draw dots. She's like, then you got a pattern. All right, Miss Thang. All right, I get you. So I'm going to try to start making patterns in my cloth and in clothing. I just really have never, ever thought about it. So let's look and see what I did. Here's the cheese one. This is what I did. I made it quite dark on the inside. I must have been in a brown mood. She's in her, but I kind of like the browns and greens all together. And then she really stands out, especially. And then some of the blankets and stuff. And I made the cheese kind of bright in center. And there's Cat Beetle. Yeah, it's all alcohol markers. I don't do anything else with these. I'm always admire people who do, who like pencils and paint and all that stuff. But for me, these books are to turn my brain off and color something. And so, I added there's some acrylic pens in there, but that's it. It's just alcohol markers. And I like it that way. I like them to be fast, easy, simple coloring. So that's 3 I've done in this new Big Adventure coloring book. I really like this book. And like I've said before, if you don't have any Matchstick Mouses, I highly recommend this one because she's in the most varied of situations. I think, than any of the others. But they're all fantastic. So, all right. Looks like I have a few more left. Let me pause ya. Okay, we are on the last 4. This is Annie Day, and I have a sweet friend, Shannon, and she's at Shannon L, 1981. And she's been helping me with this book. We've just sort of stumbled into just doing a page a month or so, or whenever we feel like it. And so we did the one with the baby pig. Now here's Shannon's. And I know you see those like spots on the pig. Well, she made them into spots on a pig, which totally makes sense. For some reason, those stumped me. I was like, do pigs have spots like that? Are those spots? Are those splotches of dirt? And then I saw what looked like the same thing on Annie's apron. So just remember Shannon's page because it makes a lot more sense than my page, her cute page. And let's look at mine. Okay, so here's mine. So I made it basically look like a small cloud landed on the pig. I didn't know what it was because I thought this was the same thing. And so I was like, I'm just going to make him dirty, but I'm not going to use dirt colors. I don't know what I was thinking. So this pig has a cloud on its side. But is this not the cutest page? All alcohol markers. How did I make these white clouds? Oh, I think that was just a white poly. It's a white colored pencil. I just sort of rubbed over it to make the clouds. Does anything else? Nope. It's all, it looks like I have a little pink pen on the pig to make some shadowing, but everything else is alcohol markers. So again, this is like Matchstick Mouse for me. These books are just fun coloring. I love Annie Day. I actually like her even better than Matchstick Mouse. I just like her, the way she is, her coziness and her softness. And really excited about his 2 new books he's got coming out. He's got an autumn Annie Day coming out and a winter Annie Day coming out. So any day you'll see more Annie Day. Har, har, har. Thank you so much for buddying with me, my dear friend Shannon. This is a fun book to do with you. Let me know if you want to do another one. Okay, then I did, first time ever, maybe, a buddy for Hot Guys for Poet. She has, I'm not sure what the exact hashtag is, so I used both, but there's Hot Guy Summer 2024 and Hot Guy for Poet. And I used both of those. And so we were trying to check a few things off. Both of us, this book, well, for me, this book was untouched. And I think it was for her too. And then we wanted to do something for her hashtag, a hot guy. Well, this is Atlantis, and this is by Fausto Bianchi. He's the same one that illustrates the Mythagoria Nightmare Cabaret. And yeah, that's a spooky one. But if this is not spooky, this is actually a really lovely book. But if you put them next to each other, it's very clear it's the same artist. He has a very signature style. So here's what we did. I'll show you Poets first. There's hers. We thought that guy was probably the hottest guy in the book, so we chose him. There's a lot of guys in here, though. And I freaking love what she did. It's so cohesive and balanced. It's so clear. You can actually see what's happening in the page. Her colors are beautiful. She's obviously using the color wheel because all those colors go together. Just really, really great page. I can't stop looking at it. I just think it's amazing. And I want you to remember how beautiful that page is when we stop to look at mine. Because mine, oh dear. Okay, so we all love this front horse. We all agree. The front horse is great. But the front horse took a lot of work. So this is alcohol markers based, and based very thinly, very light, based like they're supposed to be based. And then, so they're just based in a light color, and then with a lot of pencil on top, different. And this was using the polychromos. And it turned out gorgeous, and it was a lot of work. So then I got kind of tired. I did his tentacles, and they came out weirdly naked looking. Then I took a break, And then the next day or two, I came back to this and I was like, I was too tired. I couldn't do this much detail and all this work on this horse. And things kind of just went off the rail from there. My vision changed. I was like, oh, wow. And I wrote on Instagram how this went, but it's kind of like, oh, I want to make this, an elevated page with all of these, with all of these techniques that the real colorists use, and do that. And then I was like, oh, wait, these could be crystals. Let's make them crystals. And like, oh, I haven't used my super golden markers. And oh, I'm just tired, and let's just call it a day. That's kind of how it went. So yeah, the snake cage has super golden markers, and nowhere else on the page is that. He's got they do have some glitter gel pen on their headrests and stuff, but it doesn't make any sense why I put that green in there. I don't know, because then I had to put it elsewhere. So these fish did start out to be kind of orange, but they ended up green. I basically used all the pens I owned to try to make things. This guy turned out to look like some sort of glowing green guy. I like him better, but he doesn't match up with these fish. I have no idea why I used those browns for that shell thing. And then I made the rocks and the crystals. At some point, I was like, this is such a hot mess that I just blacked out the background, because I was like, I can't add any more colors to this page. That's all the colors there is, Candice. You're cut off. So, and once again, these are those Mangio oil pastels, which are fantastic, but don't go with the rest of the page. So I lost my vision on this page. But I still enjoyed it. This paper is the same as Mythographic paper. Mythographic has gotten better lately. So this is more like Mythogoria paper now. It's more like the way Mythographic was a few months ago. But Mythographic has recently upped their game again. So their pages are pretty thick. So there are a couple sharks in here. I didn't know that. But I looked at Poet's page and I was like, there's sharks in that page? So I found them finally. Excuse me. There's one and there's one. But yeah, if I had done this all cool colors or all warm colors, it would have been better. He's weird. I added more shading to him, but he just kept looking weirdly fleshy. Kind of gross. And then this one just sort of fades in the background because I was like, I can't be bothered to do any more shading. So I don't know. It's not my favorite page in a long shot. But I practiced a lot of different techniques because I just kept, what happened was I got injured. I injured my hip and I was finishing this up while I was in pain. And that might have been what the problem was. I wasn't feeling good when I finished this up because I just didn't put enough effort in it. But it's done. I do like many of the elements, just not together. And I look forward to doing another page in this one. This book is very cool. I don't know how many of you have this book, but it's a cool book. It's all underwater. It's the city of Atlantis. There's a lot of fighting in it and battles and things. It's very, very manly type book. But the pages are great. And the artistry is great. And the line work's great. It's just a really good book. I just never had colored in it. And now I feel like I need to color it again to redeem myself. But not this month. So thank you, Poet. And thank you for doing such a beautiful page. Wow. Whew. All right. So then I felt like after that I kind of need to get back to something simple that somebody did for me already, and all I have to do is add water. So I did another one of these, and I did this one. Now here I think I'm getting the hang of it. The colors that are in the clouds, I'm pushing out to make into the sky, so I'm painting outwards with that. So that's how the sky got to be all those pretty colors. Isn't that pretty? So I no longer have like blue clouds and a white sky. I could have tried to leave the clouds white, but I decided that would just be too hard, so I didn't. And then the mountains, of course, see here, I painted up, wrong direction. Sometimes you don't know what the color's going to be. So I'm learning that to test the color, test it inside where you're pretty sure that color goes. But quickly learned that purple didn't go up, purple went down. So there's a few spots like that. I love how they've got the sky mirrored in the water. Look at that. So all of these were different paints, and I just carefully tried not to mix paints that shouldn't mix. So yeah, it's not totally mindless, but it is in the same way it is. You have no idea what color is going to come out. But in true Thomas Kinkade fashion, there's a lot of color. And that's what makes these pages so fun. It's hard not to just sit down and do more. I know Amanda mentioned that with her book that she does, her series of books that she has. It's hard not to just sit and finish more. But they have to dry, so that's part of it. So again, it looks very flat here. It looks a little buckly on the back. But I tell you, as I was painting it, you know, I'd paint this and then I'd stop and let it dry for a few hours and work on something else and then paint this and let it dry. It wrinkles pretty good while you're painting it. Like, it buckles up, but as it dries, it flattens back out. I don't know what kind of paper they're using, but it's really cool and magical. Now, I could go over this with some, you know, shading or something, or some glitz and glass. I just haven't yet. I've just been focusing on learning how to do these. So, yeah, definitely going to do another one. You're going to see these once or twice a month. They're really fun. And we are at the very last one. I don't know if you're tired, but I'm tired. And it was another mythographic. How many mythographics did I do this month? My goodness, a lot. I'm doing a lot this month for September too. Voyage, Joseph Kattenbang. Okay, this is another one of Joseph's very, very good books. It's an older book. When it came out, I thought it was one of the better. You know, I think Wild Summer's even better, but Voyage is fantastic. I had not colored a single thing in it, and I don't know why. I like it better than mythographics that I have several pages colored in. I don't know why this one, what year did it come out? Why has this one slipped my list? 2022. Maybe because it's older? I don't know. I've had it for a very long time. This one was, haven't I? I feel like I've had it for a long time. Yeah, this one's not a gift. I've had this one for a long time. I just haven't colored in it. So that needed to change. So my friends Fef Creates, CN, my friend Fef Creates, and Veronica Dunn 66 buddied with me. And what we did was the beetle. Oh, also Mindy with coloring with Cats Among Orchids. I always get that wrong, so I'm putting it here. I'm putting all their names here. Now, these three ladies did this page with me. Now, this page is a page I've always wanted to do, but I've been very intimidated by it. So let's look at them. Let's look at Cian's. Look at Fef Creates. It's the rhinoceros beetle in a tree carrying a young girl playing a violin. And the beetle's back is made of glass. And you can see into the beetle, and it's all flowers. And then there's some lights. I just think it's beautiful. So Fef did this one. It looks to me like her beetle is, this is the blue one, right? Her beetle is see-through maybe, or glass, all glass. It's very cool. Neat idea. We did these all very, very different. So there's that one. Then we have Veronica's, who finishers is like nothing flat. And she's got all her beautiful colors again that she likes to do with hers. So there's Veronica's, another totally different take on the beetle. And then we have Mindy's. And Mindy has those, she's the one with the black legs, right? I can't see while I'm talking, but I'm trying to remember, but she has those shiny black legs, right? I love those black legs. And again, did the beetle differently. Everyone took a different take with the glass parts of the beetle. Beautiful coloring. I love the green of the beetle. It's just, there's just so, these pages look like they're from different books even. They're so different. And they finished theirs first before me. I didn't finish on the very last day of August because I got stuck on it. So let's look at mine. What I finally did, I loved. And this is what it finally came out with. There's a lot of pencil in this, so it's a little bit of a bloom, but it's oil pencil. It's Polly's. I did the lights with, you guess it, those Mungio. Well, it's a base of alcohol marker, but then I did the Mungio shiny, those pearl pastels over them to make them shiny. And then some acrylic marker to take out the lines. I did the lights first because I knew what they wanted to look like. And then then I tackled the beetle. And that's what got me stuck. I had a very different idea for the beetle. I looked up pictures. There are these colors, but not arranged like this. They're more like a solid color that kind of shimmers different colors. And I don't think I know how to do that. So what I ended up doing was taking the colors that I wanted it to be, and I based it in alcohol markers and then lots of poly on top to really shade it. And I like how it turned out. I really do. And then I did the back, I made lit up like it was, like the lights are lit up, and I used some of the same colors for the bright flowers on the inside, so it worked. I really liked that. And then I did her. She was sort of an accident. I wanted brunette hair, but I grabbed an orangier pencil, and I was like, oh, I love that. So I made her a variety of red browns. So she's got kind of reddish brown hair. And then I based her shirt, but I liked it so much I just left it there. I didn't do anything else to it. Same with her skirt. I like the way that looked, so I didn't do anything else to it. And then I basically realized I made myself a redhead, so I did her a pinkish tone skin. Yeah. Then I did the mushrooms. I made these type more. I did this first and realized, oh, that's a lot of the same color as everything else. But so I made the other ones a lighter ashy pink, so they really show up actually. And then but they're a different mushroom than these, so I just made those the same reddish looking color, kind of. And then all that left, oh, and I blacked out the entire background. That was first. And then all that was left was the tree. But then it was the end of August. So I did alcohol marker, one color, and called it good. I didn't do any shading or anything. So it kind of, the lack of definition in the tree, both, I think, takes away from the page a little bit, but also I didn't know what else to do because I realized when I got to the tree that I had done so many browns that normally my tree would be these colors, but I didn't want the beetle to totally camouflage. I mean, I wanted to look like it was a little camouflage, but not totally. So I took more of a greenish brown, totally different tone. And then I would have had to, really go in with a lot of pencil work to smooth that all out, and it would look fantastic. I didn't have it in me. It was done. So I actually really love this page. I love how it turned out. If it bugs me really bad, I'll go in and do something with shading in the tree before I fix it, but probably not. I'll probably just leave it like this. And it took a long time, but it was so much fun. It really was. I mean, Mythographic to me is my favorite book to color out of. Mythographics are, because I can do alcohol markers. I can do the whole thing in just alcohol markers, or I can also choose to shade on top, and because I have Copics, they don't yellow or anything like Ohuhu's and others do. So I feel really safe doing these in alcohol markers. And then fixing it, and then the color just stays where it's supposed to stay. And they're easy, they're refillable. I just find them, they're my favorite medium, and I find them easy to use in a Mythographic. So, shoo-wee. That was it for me. That was a lot. And that was another untouched book. So how many did I say untouched books do I work out of? 6? 8. 8 with 12 buddies. There were a couple pages I didn't get to, and those folks know it. They were both buddies. I didn't get to them yet, but I'm working on it. And yeah, that was August. Pretty cool, huh? I'm so glad you're here with me in the evenings. I came home tired from work today. This is my Friday. And I thought I just want to sit here and watch YouTube videos and color. And then when I sat down, I was like, I miss you guys. I don't want to do that. I first wanted to film so that I feel like you're here in my living room with me. And then I'll sit down and color for a bit before I go to bed, but make myself a sandwich. But I really just wanted to visit with you for a bit. So thank you for being here with me. You guys mean the world to me. I love you all. And I will see you in the very next video. Bye-bye.